Vladimir Lenin, sneered at by some, but praised by others, although overshadowed by the sins of his fellow comrade Joseph Stalin, and many others who brought such name to his favorite type of government, the man is still remembered by many as the true driver of communism. Many do not blame this stance in regards to Lenin, as there are many things that these two don't have, that this guy has, and that is being a natural born leader under the harshest of environments. This is one of the things that ultimately separated dictators like Stalin from revolutionaries like Lenin. For example, when people were to be killed, under Lenin, it was a necessity in either self-defense of his people, or also from counter-revolutionaries, or by threats from the higher classes. And it was mostly under wartime, but under Stalin, it was nothing more than to cause fear, and it wasn't under wartime pressure. In one of his most famous speeches, Lenin discusses what Soviet power actually is, what people don't understand about it, and especially what lower class people and anti-imperialists, haters of empires, etc. would love about it, and why it became a trend in his time.
Советская власть. В чем заключается сущность этой новой власти, которой не хотят или не могут понять еще в большинстве стран? Сущность ее, привлекающая к себе рабочих каждой страны все больше и больше, состоит в том, что прежде государством управляли, так или иначе, богатые или капиталисты, а теперь первый раз управляют государством. Даже в самой демократической, даже в самой свободной республике, пока остается господство капитала, пока земля остается в частной собственности, государством всегда управляет небольшое меньшинство, взятое набери десятых из капиталистов или из богатых. Первый раз в мире власть государства построена у нас, в России, таким образом, что только рабочие, только трудящиеся крестьяне, исключая эксплуататоров, заставляют массовые организации, советы, и этим советам передается вся государственная власть. Вот почему, как ни клевещут на Россию, представители буржуазии во всех странах, а везде в мире слово «совет» стало не только понятным, стало популярным, стало любимым для рабочих, для всех трудящихся. Советская власть есть путь к социализму, найденный массами трудящихся и потому верный, и потому непобедимый.
Evidently, Lenin uses much rhetoric in his speech to the masses to display understanding of what Soviet power is. In the first part, he appeals to the people first by making use of examples of their country governed by the wealthy elite as a result of capitalism, their past, and of which he makes it clear of the hole that this economic system brings, and why those who are starting to agitate for war do so in the first place in the name of communism. The second bit, he further attacks the credibility of the economic system of capitalism by pointing out that, in his own words, as long as capital rules and the land remains private property, the government will always be in the hands of a small minority, 9/10 of which consist of capitalists, or rich men. In other words, an oligarchy. Those who govern would absolutely no care of the common people, but usually abuse the system only for themselves and their own wealth. He also tries to appeal further to the people by making them aware that he is not blind, that his system he favors does have many of its own kinks it needs to work out, but that he works for the common people, and that he wants a world where the governed are the government. Essentially, he believes it to be a more perfect form of democracy, which the lower classes rose up against the wealthy elites and now govern themselves. Lastly, the last part that was taken from bits of his speech is him describing that, in his own words, Soviet power is the road to socialism. He makes the claim that the economic system of socialism was evolved as a result of what the people had to go through, and experiences that they collected over time to form a system, and it's not just made up. Because of this, he claims it is the true road, and this is why it'll be an invincible system. Therefore, as said from the beginning, Lenin makes use of much appeals to the masses, especially to the lower class and anti-imperialists, by use of much strawman arguments, by use of much persuasion and real-world examples, in order to strengthen his resolve, in order to strengthen his people's resolve, and also listed why they had the best system and why others should adopt it. Which, it wasn't just why they should adopt it, but also why other people in the world were adopting it, which in turn was just more persuasion of why they had the best system. And it is not surprising, seeing as in Lenin's time period, there were a lot of people, a lot of lower class, that made a potential audience for his speech.
너무너무 멋져 눈에 눈이 부셔 숨을 못 쉬겠어